1 a.m., eyes closed, I'm slowly falling to the music and the atmosphere. Now and then, I feel lights fading softly all over me. And I remember last year when I was alone in my bed with all these thoughts in my head and living silently inside. It's so late in the night, my mind is drifting away. Then I dream about times I wished for a new, happier day. If a hand could reach out right now and save my life somehow, I'll face the sun again as soon as this dreary night ends. Don't wanna go down like this. My head's in a place that I don't miss. So ugly, so grumpy. Sleeping in the meantime, just stay comfy. Once everything's said and done, I know I'll be okay, I will overcome. I'm hoping I'm here. I remember last year when I was alone in my bed, unhappy thoughts in my head, and living silently inside. Just keeping all to myself. Wished I could be somewhere else. Back when I could only hide. It's so late in the night, my mind is drifting away. Then I dream about times I wished for a new, happier day. If a hand could reach out right now and save my life somehow, I'll face the sun again as soon as this dreary night ends.
We were actually thinking about doing something, having an incinerator, not a landfill. But there was a lot of public opposition at the time. People thought that that would create a lot of pollution. So, so we went with the landfill. But this is really not the greatest place to have a landfill because we're super close to the Atlantic City International Airport. Okay, so if you've ever gone on YouTube and seen a video of a landfill, you'll see thousands of seagulls picking at the trash, right? They're scavengers. They love trash. You'll see them at McDonald's at the dumpster. You know, they're everywhere where they could find something to eat. So that's a bad thing. I don't know if you guys remember that that plane that went down in the Hudson, and there was the pilot that saved everybody, Sully. So I don't know if you remember that, but that plane crashed because geese got sucked into the engines. So we have to be so careful because we can't attract any seagulls that could interfere with all the air traffic around here. And there's all kinds of planes, not just Spirit Airlines. It's we have the Coast Guard, we've got the Air National Guard, we've got all kinds of air traffic here. So when we first opened up, the airport said, you're not putting trash in there. We're not having seagulls and birds threatening the safety of people flying. So we had to, no, it seems crazy. Why would you have a landfill if you can't put trash in it? Well, we could put some stuff in there. We could put things like construction debris. and what we call bulky waste. So stuff like mattresses and furniture and drywall, because birds don't care about eating that. It's not food to them. But all the stuff that you see in the transfer station, all that, you know, wet, gooey, regular old household trash, that couldn't go into the landfill. We had to drive that to another landfill in Pennsylvania. And that was pretty expensive. So we did a lot of research and came up with a plan, which makes this landfill unique, as far as we know, compared to any other landfill in the world. So we keep our regular, what they call putrescible waste, the trash, in the transfer station in the daytime. And then once it gets dark and the birds go to the coast to roost, while they're sleeping, while the seagulls are sleeping, after it gets dark, our night shift comes into work, and they spend all night loading up the trash into trailers and driving it to the landfill, dumping it, and covering it up before the sun comes up. So, so that's how we manage our waste. So we can put trash in here while the birds are sleeping. We have to cover it, and we also have to be really careful during the daylight hours. We have a wildlife biologist on staff and several interns that work with the wildlife biologists. They are constantly monitoring this site, and if they see any seagulls, they gotta scare them away. So they have a gun. They're not shooting at the birds, but they're shooting off, you know, some kind of pyrotechnic, as they call them, bangers or screamers. It's something that makes a noise to scare them away. So that's really important, and you know, we take it really seriously. We have to. So if they would notice a large number of gulls that they couldn't scare away, we have to communicate with the airport, and they would stop any flights. So we're going to drive all the way around our landfill. It's 100 acres, over 100 acres. It's probably the highest point in Atlantic County. It's a little disputed. There may be a natural high point somewhere else, but you know, it's kind of sad in a way that, you know, our highest point is the top of the big pile of trash. But it is quite beautiful at the top, because our landfill is so different than other landfills, and it's not just a big pile of trash. It's really kind of nice up there. So I hope you come back on Earth Day to check it out. up higher. We're on top of a wall that we're building around the landfill. The reason we're building a wall around the landfill is because, as I mentioned, we're almost out of space, okay? And we need to extend the life of the landfill as much as we can. There's only so far out we can go. Our property, our property line is, where that fence is. There's a little stream on the other side of the landfill. The parkway's over there. I don't know if you can see any of the cars whizzing by. We just have a limits on our space. We can't just keep going out, and we're also limited how high we can go. We have to keep with the rules. The airport's not crazy about us going up higher either, so we want to make sure that we are utilizing every little centimeter of space in the landfill. So the wall, by building
Caught in the wind, someday it'll be the last day.
dumping, they're supposed to be in the transfer station. The trucks that are dumping now should be dumping material that does not have trash in it. That's construction debris or bulky waste. And of course our bird team is keeping an eye out for birds as well. So you can see the there's a bird. Just one, he's leaving. Okay, so you can see the lights that they use at night to help them to see. Can you imagine that being your job? That's a really difficult job, being out here in the dark in all kinds of weather. Okay, so if it's snowing or raining, they don't say, oh, it's I don't want it, it's too wet, it's too cold. They have to come out. They're out there in all kinds of weather. So, and here's another plane. Okay, so we've got lots of air traffic around here.
So how long do you think until it actually goes on?
Like 2027.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are, so there's a question about when the landfill will be full. Can I get your attention in the back there? So question about when the landfill will be full, probably 2027, so right around the corner. We'll probably have to transfer our waste to another landfill, not as far as Pennsylvania, but there are landfills nearby in Kootenai County or Cumberland County that have plenty of space. So, but it will be more expensive because anytime you have to load trash onto a truck and drive it somewhere, it's costly. So we want to keep everything we can out of the landfill that doesn't belong in the landfill. So another reason why recycling is so important. But yeah, you can see some of the equipment as we go a little further too. You'll probably see the compactor. This big heavy truck with the spikes on the tires drives over top of the trash just to pack it down. Let's see, we'll keep on going and
Raindrops, star drops, the clouds won't stop. My umbrella hangs by the door. The skies are blue, the darkest of blue. Now I swear I felt this before. You sent the new year. Are you still there?
such a good way to reduce the amount of waste that you generate. I do that at home, and honestly, there's some weeks where I can't even put my trash can out because it would blow over. You know, because a lot of the stuff that we have is, you know, there's food scraps and organic material that could actually break down. So this is our compost site. It's about 10 acres. It's a little bit empty right now because we've been working really hard to process the compost that we've been making, because now is the time when everybody's calling up and saying, I want to buy some compost, I want some compost. And we take leaves and grass. I don't know if you can see up ahead, there's a big pile. We drove past it. Big pile of leaves, grass, brush. There's a machine up there that is, they're taking scoops of stuff from the big pile. And of course that pile is going to change during the year. So, you know, in the summer there's a lot more grass. In the fall there's a lot of leaves. After Christmas we got Christmas trees in there. So the pile's always changing, but they're going to take big scoops of material from the pile and put it in this machine called a tub grinder. And just like its name, it's a tub. It's going to grind everything up. And then they're going to take the material and put it into long rows. Another reason why you don't see any long rows right now is because we have Earth Day coming up, and this is a parking lot for Earth Day. So we have to make room and get ready for Earth Day. So we're processing material as quick as we can. And it's actually, you know, the stuff goes into these long rows. There's the big white machines that we'll see on our way back out, but they're called a scarab turner. And it's a machine that has, it's sort of like got a cutout, the shape of these piles, these long rows that are normally here. And it drives up over the piles. It has teeth at the bottom that kind of churns things up. If you do composting at home, you might know that you need to kind of aerate the pile, get some oxygen in there for all the little microorganisms that are breaking the material down. So that's what we do when we have big long rows. It would be too much to be out there with the pitchfork. So we have a machine that drives over, adds oxygen. We also have to be careful about odors at the compost site. Okay, you might not smell anything right now, but depending on which way the wind is blowing, it doesn't smell bad to me, but it has sort of a farmy smell, and again, our neighbors might complain. So we have a wind sock, and we can tell, you know, when which way the wind is blowing. We have to make sure that we turn the compost when it's not going to create odors for our neighbors. So it takes about 6 months for the material to actually go from the very beginning to the very end. And at the very end, it goes into that yellow machine back there. It's got a big tube that's got little holes in it. So as you can imagine, you know, if you've got some, bless you, some brush that, you know, or sticks or tree limbs that get chopped up, they're not going to break down as fast as a piece of grass. So even though, you know, the compost is pretty much ready, and we know that by the temperature. We have these big long thermometers that go in there, and we have to turn it when the temperature gets up to about 140 degrees. It's really hot from all these microorganisms, you know, being at work. So, so we turn it, gets the microorganisms more oxygen, and then when they see that the temperature has gone down, we know that the activity is pretty much done and that the material is ready. So it'll go into that trommel back there. It's sort of like a sifter. It turns and the fine pieces fall through, and the big chunky and go out one end, and the big chunky stuff comes out the other end. So the big chunky stuff, like in this pile, can go back into and get composted some more. All right, and the stuff that is finished, you'll see the big pile of it on the other side. That's ready to go, and we sell it. So some towns, I think Egg Harbor Township has a place where you can get compost for free. So they take their leaves and grass and do something, you know, like this. They might not have all the equipment that we have, but they make it available for free, which is great, but it's not as nice as our eco soil, because we have the extra step of sifting it, and you know, it's good stuff. So people love it. We sell out every year. We deliver it to people in you know, 5, like a small dump truck or a bigger truck, depending on what they need. We also put it into bags for people who have a smaller yard or don't need as much. And people can also come in with a pickup truck and get a scoop. So that's our eco soil. We donate a lot to schools and community gardens as well. So that's eco soil. We also sell mulches. We used to grind up I don't know if you can see back there's a big pile of pallets and clean wood. We used to grind that up and sell it as eco chips. But you know what? People are really picky about their mulch. They want it dyed red. They want it dyed black. They want triple shredded playground mulch. They're very particular. So we actually buy it and resell it. And the pallets just go to the landfill, not into the landfill, but when it rains, I don't know if you saw that road that goes right up the landfill. Things get really messy there, so we use the ground up pallets on site here. Okay, so any questions about the compost site? Okay, we're gonna drive. We're gonna go.
Then you'll see I'm everything I ever claimed to be. Smile through the dark to the sky. Laugh away. Never thought I'd put my phone down. Suffocating in a bubble, who's wearing the crown? Everyone's looking for the next big thing while I'm still so lost in a closing ring of faces. The shameless, constantly walking an endless road to the moon, to the stars. And I hope to God you get far. And eternity's too long to stay on the stage. When will I turn the next page? Let me stay inside forever, in that worn out yellow sweater. When will the colors fade? This pretty, pretty palette of dull shades. What's the definition of a good friend? It's hard to tell in this mad race to the end. Can I live so unafraid? I'm trying to be happy. I'm trying to find a way in this unrelenting world where I promised that I would stay. I'll figure it out, then you'll see I'm everything I ever claimed to be. Smile through the dark to the sky. Laugh away. I'm trying to be happy.
Oh God, no! I didn't sign up for this.
Stop.
Oh God.
That sounds so weird.
You really do, yeah.
Alright. The reflection's not any better. Stop.
Bye. Okay.
One more. Maybe if I tap it up?
Oh my God, just like posing through a tube, like. It's hilarious.
Alright, the reflection got better.
Oh, that's funny.
like it should be lower on my head.
Right?
Adjustable?
Yeah.
I think that's a small. My head is mad small.
They got the twister. I don't want to feel like she was wrong.
Okay, go ahead and stand to the shelf.
Hey, girl.
Just so we're out of the way.
Did you take a picture?
I took a video.
In actual.
So